Hi and welcome to the podcast. My name is Kristen. You can find me on Instagram as Skein. I'm also on Instagram as the Wardrobe Remix, where I post all of my sewing stuff. And you can find me on Ravelry as K10, that's K10. Hope you're doing really well. I have a little bit of hay fever this morning, so I sound a little bit blocked up, and I may even be itching my nose quite a lot and my face. I'm trying not to. I'm waiting for the medication to kick in. Anyway, hope you're doing really well. I'm doing really well. It's been beautiful here in Coffs Harbour, lovely weather, and yeah, had a few swims, had quite a few walks. It's been lovely. But today is Thursday and I'm doing a podcast and then I've got to work. So it's lovely outside and I would love to go for a walk and a swim, but I just can't do it at the moment. And I have to wait till either tomorrow or Saturday. Anywho, I did forget to bring home from work my Slipstravaganza shawl, which I was dying to show you all. I did finish it. I did post photos on Instagram. You've probably seen it anyway. But yeah, I wanted it here so I could show you the details. But yeah, I actually unfortunately left it at work. But I'll put in some photos for you so you can see it. I had a ball knitting this. Then the whole knit along was a lot of fun. The community around the knit along was great fun. The videos that Stephen West put out for every clue, they were great. I like his sense of humour, and I think, you know, with this year that we've had, it was great to have something light and fun to do. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't do the second border repeat, which is what I said I'd do when I spoke to you last time. I just couldn't fit the stitches on the needles. They were falling off, so that was one reason. But yes, I kind of just needed to bind off, I think, and I was happy. I love it as it is. I didn't need to have a huge border, and of course I think in the end there was like well over 600 stitches on the needles, which is the most I have ever had on my needles ever before. It was crazy, but yes, a lot of fun. So that was my finished object. I have been working on the Hikari sweater by Yamagara. This is an Amirisu pattern from one of their spring-summer editions, and yeah, I've done quite a lot since I last spoke to you. This is it here. It's been in my knitting bag, so I have been working on something else, but you can see there is a textured detail at the bottom of the sweater. There is meant to be one at the back, but I didn't want to put that in. I thought it looked nice just having it plain at the back, so I've just got it at the front. And it's a really lovely, easy knit. It's just in the round. The textured detail is very simple. If you can read your knitting and you can read what you've done the row below, you know what's coming next. There is a chart in the pattern. There's also written instructions. The pattern is really nicely written. I haven't come across any problems whatsoever. It's very enjoyable, and in fact I have found that Amirisu has probably the best summer spring patterns out there, particularly for garments. They're very interesting, and yeah, they're not just, you know, the basic tanks that you often find for sewing. They have for knitting. They have things like this with texture. They have ruffled sleeves. They have like all different types of really nice kind of modern looking knits. So this I am knitting using our coastal yarn, which is a 50-50 mix of cotton and merino, and the colorway is silverbark. And yeah, I am alternating skeins. If you're using hand-dyed yarns and you're going to knit a garment, alternate skeins. Please alternate skeins. No matter, I know a lot of people say it's really difficult and they don't want to do it, and if you're happy with the way it looks without alternating skeins, that's totally fine. But I do prefer to alternate skeins because I do like having that blend of colour. I don't like the pooling look where it pools. So yeah, that is that. Oh, sorry, everything is on the floor. I will one day get a table for the podcast. I also, after finishing the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, I was missing his patterns. I really enjoy his fun, creative way of doing shawls. I'm not usually a shawl person, but I kind of felt like playing with a lot of colour. I don't wear a hell of a lot of colour, so the best way to sort of combine the two is to knit shawls. And so during the knit along, he put out a pattern called Bubbles and Brioche, and I fell in love with it, so I decided to cast that on. And I have actually been knitting on this most of all, particularly when I come home from work. So this is it. It's crazy bright. It reminds me of Care Bears. I don't know why. My Little Pony and Care Bears has that kind of neon look about it. So what can I say? Where can I start? So basically it's a brioche. It's sections of brioche, the bubble stitch and the garter stitch. The brioche is the one that causes me the most pain. That's silly saying that, but I find it difficult. I don't know why. I mean, I get the actual brioche sections and I'm fine once I'm actually knitting it, but getting into the brioche, I don't know why. I remember I knit another shawl, which was, I can't remember it, Knit Graffiti. Is it Knit Graffiti? Anyway, I had the same problem starting off. It just, the stitch counts would never match up. It was just a nightmare. And I had the same with this. You do an I-cord bind-on, which is easy, and then you do this 8-stitch increase, which makes this little hole, and then you start the brioche, and I could not do it. Stephen West has really good videos that accompany these shawls, takes you through step by step. I watched that, I did that, I just couldn't get it. But in the end, I got there. I might have fudged a little bit to get the extra stitch in, but I got there. So yeah, and then once I started knitting the brioche, I was fine. Also this bubble stitch, as you can see, they're like little puffs, little bubble puffs. They're really, really cute. I'll show you the inside. It's basically, you're knitting a few rows, and then when you get to the last row, you knit 4 stitches down into the stitch. Anyway, it sounds more complicated than what it is. If you look at Stephen's videos, they're really, really good. I was a little bit worried that the bubble stitch was kind of like a nup, where you had to keep knitting back and forth and turning the knitting, and then, you know, knitting rows in a small little confined space. That sounds silly, but anyway, you know what I mean. Knitting nups, if you've ever knit them, they're a pain, but it's not like that at all. It's actually really, really easy and quick, and yeah, it's really enjoyable. As you can see, I've knit a huge amount. I cast this on not that long ago, so it's been a lot of fun knitting it. I'm using our everyday sock, which is what I use for the mystery knit along. It's really nice. I loved knitting with it with the mystery knit along, so I wanted to do it again with this short. Very, very soft. So for the main colours, I'm using Pink Pop, which is a fluoro pink, basic grey, so they're the brioche, and then the bubbles are Golden Peach, Polar Bear, Key, like circular key, and limoncello. Limoncello, yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's, yeah, I find with Stephen West patterns too, they always look a lot more complicated than what they are. They're very, very basic actually, what you're doing. Most of them are slip stitches, brioche. I mean, I know I said, you know, I have troubles with brioche, but that's just beginning it. And once I get started, it's okay. But yeah, his patterns are actually really quite easy. And this one I am doing when I get home from work while I'm watching podcasts or Netflix, which I've binge watched The Crown, which was fantastic. Is it called The Crown? Yeah. The one about Lady Di and the Queen and all that. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, yeah, so they are very easy to knit and relax to, which I really, really like. So, oh, I also wanted to tell you about a pattern that came up, a knitting pattern. Each week when I do the email for work, I do a Ravelry search of the patterns, new and old, that I can recommend for our yarns. Anyway, one popped up and I just thought it was really unusual and I really, really liked it. So I'll pop a picture up so you can see it. And now I've got to find what it's called. It is the Prairie Ruffle Sweater by Claire Thomas. This pattern uses Brooklyn Tweed Loft, but you could use any type of fingering weight yarn. I would imagine just seeing that ruffle, you'd want something that was a little bit more crisp in the yarn, not so drapey. So probably, I mean, you could use silk, a silk blend or something like that. It probably would be okay, but I quite like that stiffness of the fabric. So I was thinking I might dye up some of our, what's it called? Donegal tweed. Donegal sock. My God. Donegal sock. I think that would look really nice in this pattern, and I think the little Donegal tweedy nut would look really cute in it too. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you because yeah, it came across my radar when I was doing the email and I really, really liked it. So alright, now on to sewing. Let's start with what I've done. So I did finish the Bondi dress from Tessuti, which I talked about last time. This is a lovely summery dress. Actually, I'll put a picture of me wearing it in so you can see what it looks like on. Yeah, it's just, it looks very basic, but there's actually quite a few pieces when you cut it out and sew it together. It's actually in quite a few pieces. So you have the back yoke, which is 2 separate pieces, the back, which is again 2 separate pieces, and the front, which is another 2 pieces. Sewing it up is really, really simple, of course, but you do have these nice little lines that you get with the center front, the center back, and of course you have an opening at the back, which is really nice, with a little simple button and it's just a little tab that you make, so it's easy to button up. It does have bust darts in the side. It fits quite loosely. Has pockets, which is really nice. They're really nice big deep pockets. The hem, oh, I should say that the sleeves or the arm band and the neckband are bias binding, which you make with your own fabric, of course, and then the bottom is actually faced. So the hem facing is quite unusual too, because you can put another piece of fabric between the hem facing so that you've got a bit of raw edge that sticks out, and you can fray that to make it kind of look a little bit frayed. But yeah, I didn't want to do that. I just left it plain. So yeah, I really, really loved it. The fabric is from Tessuti as well. It's a light to medium weight linen, 100% linen, and yeah, it's really, really nice. So I really, really like it. I have also cut out another Sagebrush top. This is from Friday Pattern Company. I did make one of these, which I talked about last time, and I actually wore it yesterday and I really like it. Oh, I should mention I'm actually wearing a Wilder gown by Friday Pattern Company as well. This is a make that I made a couple of months ago, I think. It's a rayon, rayon, and I made a short sleeve version. I was actually sewing this in winter, but I thought if I made a short sleeve version and layered, wore layers with it, I could wear it in winter and in summer, and it worked out really well because I can now wear it in summer. It's quite a long layered dress, and yeah, it's really cool and drapey and nice to wear in summer. And of course the tie, you can wear it open, but I do like to wear it closed. So yeah, highly recommend this pattern. You need quite a lot of material though, because you do have tiers of, I think there's 3 tiers, and you gather them, so you do actually need quite a bit of fabric for it. But yeah, so anyway, I have this one cut out, the Sagebrush top. This is the fabric that I'm going to be using. It is a double gauze, which I got from Spotlight, and yeah, hopefully I'll get to show you that next time I talk to you. I think that's, oh, it's not everything, almost. So Papercut Patterns had a sale a couple of weeks ago, and I had my eye on a few of their patterns. I spoke about this last time when I was talking about my sewing, and I was talking about the Sierra jumpsuit and the Axix dress, and I had forgotten that I actually bought these two from Indie Stitches, who's in Australia. They have all the indie patterns that you can buy. I bought these before the sale, so I'm still undecided about what I want to do. I'll probably make the Axix dress first. I have been reading some blog posts on the Sierra jumpsuit, and apparently there has been a couple of fitting issues with the rise of the pants and the armholes. So yeah, I'm just need to do a little bit more reading and then work out what I want to do. I am also in between sizes. My top is 10, bottom is 8, so I would have to grade out anyway. And I think what I will do with the jumpsuit, I'm going to make the short version, and I'm going to find some fabric that has a little bit of stretch so I don't have to put a zipper in. And I'm going to buy the fabric first from Spotlight, just buy something really cheap, nice, but you know, more affordable, and then sort of make a wearable twirl, and then see how I go and if I need to adjust something, because I do have my eye on this lovely fabric at Tessuti. It has a very 80s vibe to it. Be really nice as a little cute jumpsuit. But yeah, I don't want to buy that and cut into it and have it not fit. So I want to get the fitting out of the way, and then I can make something really nice. So the other Papercut patterns that I bought, the Nexis blouse. Most of these are kind of autumn wintry patterns that I will probably make next year. I got twist pants, which has this really cool detail. The back of the pants twist around to the front, and it makes them sort of like a stovepipe cut. Tapered in leg. It's really cute. The Sapporo coat, which if you follow Pattern Cut on Instagram, you will see Jacinda Ardern wearing this jacket that her sister made her. That is the Prime Minister of New Zealand, who is awesome. I also got the Stacker jacket, which I'm really keen to make this out of a cord. And finally, Fjord cardigan, which I really needed to get a good cardi pattern in my stash. So hopefully this will be the one. And as you can see on the back, it's got lots of panels, so you could actually colour block if you wanted to. and it's got pockets. So yes, I've got lots of things to sew and lots of things to do, and hopefully I'll have a lot of things to show you for next week. So yeah, I think that's everything now, and yeah, I hope you're all doing really well, and yeah, please like and subscribe and give me a comment. I love to hear what you guys are making and what you guys think of what I'm making, and yeah, because it's kind of weird when you're talking to a camera. You don't know who's listening out there. Is anyone listening? Yeah. So keep well, and yeah, of course I will talk to you in another 2 weeks. So until then, happy knitting, happy sewing, and yeah, take care. Bye.